Hey, everybody. So I don't know if you saw this. It says Kevin McCarthy has quietly implemented a pay raise for members that could be $30,000 plus per person. It circumvents the Constitution by instead reimbursing their rent, utility, and meals while complaining about the debt and voting to cut veterans' benefits. So let's go ahead. And here is this article. It says the Post misrepresents House reimbursement change and spending cuts. Well, let's see what it does do. Claim the Republican-led U.S. House of Representatives is giving itself a pay raise, even as it proposes slashing federal spending for military veterans. APS assessments. So the AP's assessment, correction. Missing context, okay? So here's a missing context, but it's the same thing. It puts money in their pockets, and that's how I interpret it. Missing context. The House is enacting new regulations that were approved during last year's Democrat-controlled session, which will allow members to expense certain costs, such as rent and food, while in Washington. It does not increase their base salary, though may result in members receiving more in reimbursements than they previously had. Meanwhile, federal spending cuts approved by House Republicans neither explicitly target nor exclude veterans' benefits, which the GOP insists will be spared. The facts. A post circulating widely on social media claims House Republicans have hypocritically given themselves a pay bump, even as they propose steep cuts for veterans, aids, and other critical federal spending amid the political showdown over the nation's debt limit. However, let's back the train up. The House is enacting new regulations that were approved during last year's Democrat-controlled session, which will allow members to expense certain costs, just rent and food, while in Washington. So it doesn't increase the base salary, but it may result in members receiving more in reimbursements than they previously had. Okay, so enough with the word choice. Either way you want to put it, it won't increase the salary, but guess what? It's put more money back in their pocket. So while they're in Washington, they can expense things such as food and rent while in Washington. We're paying for a salary that they're getting, and plus what? Don't they get like free health care for life? So now they can expense things like food and rent while in Washington. I get the semantics, but let's be real. Inflation is taking money out of the citizens' pockets while we're paying for illegal immigrants that haven't paid a dime. So this right here, this was approved during last year's Democrat-controlled session, which will allow members to expense certain costs such as rent and food while in Washington. So obviously they weren't able to do this before, okay? But now they can. So it doesn't have to increase the salary, but guess what it does? It puts more money in their pocket. My question is, what's going to put more money in the taxpayers' pockets? Let's see, slower refunds for the tax refunds. Oh, don't forget, and if you're getting a refund, it may take a little bit longer to get. Oh, and guess what? Yeah, aside from that refund issue, don't forget, a lot of people are also getting less. They're getting a whole lot of less money than what they may have gotten before. I saw a family before. They said they used to get money back, and they said a family of 4, 2 kids in college, and guess what happened? They said, they end up owing $10,000. Yeah, and don't forget, there's a thing called penalty and interest. So this here, the semantics, it's still the same thing. It's putting more money in their pocket. That's what it's doing. So hooray, hooray. It looks to me like the lucky groups today are going to be the illegal immigrants and also the politicians. That's who's looking lucky to me. Let me know what you all think. Either way it goes, word choice. It's not increasing their salary, but don't forget, they can write it off as an expense. Can you write off, unless you have a business, it is for business reasons, you can't write off that gasoline, that large grocery bill, can you? Can you? So either way it goes, it's either putting money in your pocket or taking it out. So this here, to me, it sounds like they're putting money in their pockets through what? Write off. They can write off doing the taxes. And if it could be 30,000 per person, wait a minute, honey. Again, as I understand, they get free health care for life. You get a salary. And many have a foundation or a cause that they support. I believe a lot of them may do that. Oh, and don't forget, let's see. They can also trade. Knowing what's going on ahead of time. Gee, I bet they're a bunch of successful traders, huh? Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. I'm sorry, I mean her husband. Wow, check out the before and after wealth. That stock market working for somebody. I ain't hating. Good for you. But yeah. So just think about it. It's not a pay raise in their paycheck. But we can read, readers are leaders. We can understand information. We can interpret. It allows members to expense certain costs, such as rent and food while in Washington. So don't forget, some of you are getting less money having to pay in on your taxes. If they can expense that, that means they can write it off. So they'll get the money back? If they can expense it, it sounds like a write-off to me. And correct me if I'm wrong. So either way it goes, looks like if you expense that, or write down a write-off, chances are that may lessen the taxes you owe, or it may put more money in your pocket. That's how I interpret that. I could stand for some correction. Hey, okay, so I want to know, what do you all think? Thanks for watching, and I'm out.